Hello, welcome to Ian's POV. I stay off this topic. There's enough channels talking about Harry and Meghan, but I can't let this go. This is my point of view, and I think a lot of people agree with me. Harry met a very attractive, very good looking American actress. Not a very good actress, but anyway, she was an actress with a past that we're not quite sure what it was. They got married, and we were quite happy. Then things went downhill. Harry and Meghan got on a flight and went to Canada. From Canada, they went down to California and lived in Montecito. Wow. This is my take. This is people I know around just off the Royals that have told me stories. Don't know how many of them are still true, but this is the bits of information that I've sort of picked up over the last 6 years. Harry was smoking dope, weed, marijuana, wacky-backy. Now, a good friend of mine, and I mean, I knew him from when I was at school. He was older than me. And at school, I was in the 5th form, he was in the 7th, 8th form, just leaving. And we picked up again down a pub. He used to meet him down at Friendship. I just had a chat. Hello, Ian. Hello, Bob. And that's all it was. Then he moved in next door, or I moved in next door to him in a flat. And we became closer. And then he moved to Wales, and we'd talk on the phone. We'd email and talk, and email and talk. And then he got on the wacky-backy. He became paranoid. Because wacky-backy can do that. Makes people paranoid. Or some people paranoid. And my mate Bob got paranoid. And he blamed me for things that I was nowhere near. That I'd never said. But he got it into his head. Because he was on this wacky-backy that it was my fault. Whatever it was. And I can't even remember what it was. I didn't speak to him for 2 years. And this is over a 50-year period, mind. So 2 years isn't nothing, really. And then he phoned me up. And we were talking like nothing had happened. He'd stopped taking a wacky-backy, hadn't he? Now, I think this has happened to Harry. He's on the drugs, whatever it is, and he's on the wacky-backy. It's made him paranoid. And feeding that paranoid is Rachel. Her real name when she got married to Harry was Rachel Meghan Markle. Her technical name now is Rachel Meghan Mountbatten Windsor. She is not Meghan Markle. They complain that we call Catherine Kate because it's not her real name. She wants to be known as Catherine. Fair enough, I understand that, I get it. But why doesn't the same thing apply to Meghan Markle? Because Meghan Markle doesn't want to be seen as a Mountbatten Windsor. She wants the title of Duchess. She wants to be classed as royal. But she doesn't want the responsibility and the name that goes with it. Meghan is a narcissist. And one psychologist said she was a a historic, um, I don't know quite what it is, um, but one psychological problem she's got is that she is a narcissist. She she's got social problems. She wants to be loved. She wants to be number one. And it ain't working. So she comes up with something else. And if something else doesn't work, she's got something else in line. And the sociologist said she's got too many people around her that she's paying that are saying yes to her. She wondered if she had a stylist because she never looks any good in any of the outfits she wears. She gets free outfits. She then puts them on the website, or the same outfits put on a website for sale. When she went to Germany with Invictus, they paid her £400,000 expenses. And a lot of those were for the dresses. We then found out that the companies were giving her the dresses to wear, to publish the dresses to sell later. So not only is the allegation that she got the dresses for free, she was charging Invictus for the dresses, and then she was taking the dresses back if she had paid for them and getting the money back for them. The money wasn't going back into Invictus, she was keeping it. And this is who Harry is married to. She's a scammer. Everything she does is a scam. You know, you come across them every so often in your life, and you try and stay clear of them. I got a guy here who's the same. Everything he does is a scam. What can I get out of it? Not done for the good of the people. It's what makes me look good. The same as Meghan. Or should I say Rachel Meghan Mountbatten Windsor. Now, today, all over the news, BBC, ITV, Sky, GB News, all of them. Meghan and Harry are coming back in August to live in the UK. Well, I don't want a single taxpayer's penny paid on them two. I don't want my tax to pay for them. Harry's in hock to the court for millions for losing his court case against the Daily Mail. I ain't paying for that. Meghan bought thousands of dollars worth of candles without wicks. You can't make it up. They're doing a product review on a podcast, and they take this candle to pieces and smell it. And then they get hold of a lighter and they look at it, and there's no wick in it. So she's selling candles without wicks. That's fraud. How can it be a candle if it hasn't got a wick in it? And the prices were just extortion. Oh, and flower sprinkles. Gotta have flower sprinkles. Well, I found flower sprinkles online for pets at a tenth of the price. Exactly the same thing. Flower sprinkles for pets that Meghan Markle is now selling for human consumption. It's my take. It's what I believe. It's my allegation. Now, how can these two come back? After what they've said about the royal family, how can they just come back in and everything be okay? It can't. And we don't have to accept it. Harry, we are told, will not be allowed to stay in royal residence. Well, that's owned by the crown. It's not owned by the king. The king has his own estates as the Duke of Lancaster or Lincolnshire, whatever it is. And he has his own estate, like the Duke of Cornwall was, that William is now. Devon and Cornwall and parts of Wiltshire are Duke of Cornwall estates. And they raise their own money. They got tenancies and housing and all sorts of things. Well, the late Queen had her own estates, and the King's now got that. That's his private money. And they got houses dotted around the estates, and I expect Harry will be allowed to live in one of those. And the King will, I suspect, will be privately funding Harry and Rachel Meghan Markle. Rachel Meghan Mountbatten Windsor, I should say. Now, they can't be half in, half out. After all the shit that they've thrown at the royal family, they just can't be accepted as royals again. They are not working royals. We, the people, don't want them as working royals. If Meghan leaves Harry and they have a divorce, which is another thing that's going around, that's up to them. That's their own private affair. Harry can come back. He'll be looked after by the king. But I want him to get himself clean. I want him offered a drink and offered the drugs. And then you've got to deprogram him. Because if he's been on wacky-backy and Madam's been talking to his little ear and using that paranoid, that psychosis that it produces, Meghan would know this. And if she's feeding him, oh, look what your family's doing. Look, they're doing this, they're doing that. They don't like you. They've said this, they've said that. And she will feed that. I bet you. She will turn Harry against his family. But now Harry owns all this money. He's lost the court case. They allegedly lost the Montecito Castle thingy they had, the estate, because they can't afford to pay the mortgage. So they got no money. Got no Netflix deal. The flower sprinkles ain't selling. So Meghan's got to come back with Harry because she's broke. She's still got to be the Duchess. And she will play on that when she comes back. The Duchess of Sussex. But the Sussexes have no land. They've got a title but no land. It's basically an honorary title. Like Andrew was the Duke of York. Second son of the monarch was always the Duke of York. Louis, when he's older, will become the Duke of York. George will become the Prince of Wales. And the Duke of Cornwall when his father becomes king. It's the way it works. But the thing is, what do we do about Rachel Meghan Mountbatten Windsor? What do we do with her? Well, I think somebody's got to start eating some humble pie. Harry to start with, and then Madam. They got to grovel if they want to come back. They got to say they're sorry, they've made a mistake, and they got to explain things. First thing we got to do is have a DNA test on the kids. We have to prove if they're Meghan and Harry's kids. There's so much speculation. They said that Meghan was wearing a moon bump. Well, let's prove it. Let's have a DNA test on the kids. Let's prove it one way or another if they are really their kids. Then we go from there. If they're their kids, all's hunky-dory. If they ain't, then we got to have another conversation. Where do we go from there? Who's their real mother? Is their mother their nanny? Don't know the answer. Archie was born in England, so he's basically British. But have they got American passports now? Lily was born in America, so she's foreign. You know, we've got to have some serious conversations here about the kids. It's not the kids' fault, whichever way it goes. It's not the kids' fault. We can't go blaming the kids. The blame lies with Rachel and Harry. Rachel and Harry have created this situation. The only way to clear it up is a DNA test. Full stop. Next thing is, what Harry going to do as a job? He's got to get some money in. Could become an estate manager for one of the king's estates. I don't think Harry would want to do that. It would mean him working, and he hadn't worked in his life. He was playing at being a soldier. He was model college through Afghanistan. And they had to bring him home quick because they realised he was there. He wasn't allowed, I'm told he wasn't allowed anywhere near any fighting. Then we come to Invictus. Harry and Meghan are milking Invictus. One for their own PR and one for money. There's 30 million missing. Now, I don't know if that's from the English Invictus or the German Invictus, but there's 30 million mixing from Invictus, and that hasn't been solved. One commentator said that the 30 million was taken by Harry and split between Harry and Meghan at 50 million each and put in offshore bank accounts. I don't know. I don't know what's true. That's just what a commentator said. Now, Meghan is expecting to be paid to do Invictus. When they went to Germany, she got £400,000. Or was it 400,000 euros? One or the other. You know, if they're coming back and they're still working and the king is paying for Harry, then he don't need to be paid by Invictus. And Rachel shouldn't be anywhere near Invictus at all. She may be able to be at the opening ceremony by Harry's deciding the closing ceremony, but she shouldn't be marching along with the contestants, with the athletes. That was just atrocious. Look at me. Look at I am. Invictus is a good thing. Invictus is to help rehabilitate injured people in the forces. All for that, got no problems. But as long as Harry's in charge, I ain't giving them another penny. I gave Invictus some money a couple of years ago. But as long as Harry and his missus are involved, they ain't getting no money from me. Like I've stopped giving money to the lifeboats. Once they started ferrying and being used as a taxi service to ferry the illegal migrants in, that was me finished with them. They're there to save lives, not to be used as a taxi service. Anyway, I've said enough. I've done 20 minutes. I didn't want to do that long, but that's how it goes. I don't want to turn this into a royal have a go at Harry channel. But I have to have my say, and that's what I think. And I think most of the people out there think the same. And please call Meghan Markle by her real name. Rachel Meghan Mountbatten Windsor. Thank you. Ian. Bye bye for now.